40 pre-COVID.
Hello, welcome to Stockbox Live here from the UK Investor Show in London. I'm here today with Richard Wolanski, the Financial Director of Avation PLC. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for coming along and joining the show.
Well, I understand you're normally based in Singapore, so you've come to this event. Why have you come to London today?
Look, we're here really to reconnect with investors. We're listed on the London Stock Exchange. We've been in operation for about 16 years, and we're obviously associated with the airline sector. We're actually an aircraft leasing company, so we buy planes and rent them to airlines, and that's a list of our customers there, well-known names that you'd be familiar with, like EasyJet. And the business is very strong in terms of airlines. Half the aircraft on the planet are leased, which most people don't know. And COVID was very damaging to our business. A lot of our airlines struggled. They were unable to pay rent. But the reason why I'm back is the first time I can travel again. But also, everyone knows that summer's here. Everyone's traveling again. Everyone's going on their summer holidays. And if you're buying plane tickets and planes are full, which everybody knows, then our business is doing well again. And so our share price suffered a lot during COVID. And we're really just here to reconnect, so we're still around. We shrunk the business by only about 30%, but as of today, our share price is off by over 80%.
Yeah, that's a huge drop, and you can attribute that to COVID, presumably, with just the lack of airlines flying.
Well, I think there were so many question marks as to how long COVID was going to last, how many airlines were going to disappear, and we had a couple of big airlines go bust on us. But as I said, we had about 50 aircraft before COVID. We've still got 41 today. They're worth $1 billion, and this year we're going to generate $100 million of revenue. The last time we were this size, which was probably 5 years ago, our stock price is over £2. And yet, so there's been a real disconnect. And I think that a lot of investors out there sort of see anything to do with travel, anything to do with airlines, and they run. And they've been right to run for the past couple of years. But if you believe that COVID's over, and look, I've spoken to a dozen people today, and they show me their phones. They've all got plane tickets to go lie on a beach somewhere in Spain or Portugal or France. And if you believe both of those things are true, and we know from EasyJet's results 2 days ago, they're at almost pre-COVID levels. If airlines are doing well, then companies like us are doing well. And that's the message we're trying to get across to investors.
And you're listed on the London Stock Exchange, ticker AVAP.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and potentially quite a compelling investment proposition today with the discount to the last couple of years.
Well, it's a record discount, and pre-COVID, we always traded around the value that's equal to NAV per share. As of 31 December, our last set of published results, our NAV was £1.64, and yesterday's close it was 65p. That's the biggest discount in the history of the company. So that means that there is a real disconnect between ourselves and our shareholders, and that's why I've flown, thousands of miles from Singapore just to say, look, we're still here. You do remember us? If you think COVID's over and you are traveling again like all your friends are, then you know a business like us is going to do well again. So that's the message.
So fundamentally, the company is in a good place. You've managed to keep going throughout the last 2 years of COVID. The vibe you're getting is that COVID is perhaps over and aviation can return to pre-pandemic levels.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Not only that, but we didn't let the airlines stop paying rent. We accrued that rent, and they're now paying us back that rent. And so we're collecting money in excess So while our revenue is 100, we're actually collecting more than that because they're paying us the back rent. So we're in a better position, and that cash that we're getting in, we'll use to delever the company. We'll use to apply to growth again as well. So, we do think that we're in a good position. We obviously haven't been able to do any PR or IR, that isn't over Zoom for the past sort of couple of years. So, we just want to get out there and meet people, show them who we are, and let people, especially now summertime in England, where people, the first thing they do is as a number of our shareholders have told us, first thing everybody does in summer is buy a 2-week holiday to the beach somewhere so they can go and get sunburned. So if you're doing that, that, and you understand and your friends are doing that, then that's a really good signal that airlines are doing well. And you hear it from Ryanair, EasyJet, British Airways. Their planes are full, ticket prices are high, and that means airlines can pay their rent, which means an aircraft leasing business is going to do well.
So just a final question, and give us the investment proposition. What kind of investors are you targeting? People who are after growth, or people who are after steady sort of income streams, or dividend, that kind of thing? Who are you targeting, and what's the key message from you?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. Of course, pre-COVID, we were known as a growth company in that we would double the size of the fleet, double our revenues about every 3 years. So you'd say that's a growth company, but also pre-COVID, we're also paying it, and so that's growth of 25% a year plus. But pre-COVID, our dividend yield was 3%. So we were one of those very rare companies on earth, and you won't know of too many, and your investors and your listeners won't know of too many that actually had high double-digit growth and were paying it, and that's who we want to return to, and that's what this business can support.
So ambitious plans still then?
Well, it's the same plan. We've walked this pathway before. It's really a case of COVID just stopped us in our tracks, and it's now a return to normal operating conditions. There is a shortage of aircraft. Everybody can see it. Boeing and Airbus are only producing about half the planes they are producing on a monthly basis. That's because of supply chain issues and because their employees take days off because of COVID. But that will return to normal. But a shortage of aircraft is what makes our business do well. Makes the aircraft values go up, lease rates go up, and that's great for our business.
Well, Richard Wolanski, the Financial Director of Avation, thank you very much for your time. Perhaps a good investment opportunity there with the share price discounted to 80%, you said, from pre-COVID levels-ish.
£3.40 to 65. I have to get a calculator, but yeah, it's a big discount.
It's a big discount there, and still planning to carry on as normal with growth.
We're still substantially, the business is intact. Most of our customers and our fleet are intact. So the business is materially similar. Excellent. So we've got to get the message out.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.